In this morning's Breakfast Bible Bites, we now find the very Jewish Peter breaking a taboo to speak at the home of the Gentile Cornelius to a gathered crowd and presumably a mixed multitude. We're reading in Acts 10:39 through 41. And we apostles are witnesses of all he did throughout Israel and in Jerusalem. They put him to death by crucifying him, but God raised him to life 3 days later. Then God allowed him to appear, not to the general public, but to us, whom God has chosen beforehand to be his witnesses. We were those who ate and drank with him after he rose from the dead. Peter speaks not just for himself, rather for all the apostles, when he said that God raised Jesus to life on the third day. Jesus was not just some ethereal manifestation or spiritual apparition. Rather, he ate and drank with the apostles. In Acts 13:28 through 31, we read, we find Barabbas and Paul, who have traveled inland to Antioch of Pisidia, and on the Sabbath they went to the synagogue for services. Part of their message is as follows. When they had fulfilled all the prophecies concerning his death, they took him down from the cross and placed him in a tomb. But God raised him from the dead, and he appeared over a period of many days to those who had gone with him from Galilee to Jerusalem. These are his witnesses to the people of Israel. There was a large crowd that followed Jesus, not just the 12 apostles. You'll remember that at one point the Gospels say that Jesus sent out 70 witnesses. We read in Acts 13:32 through 37, and now Barnabas and I are here to bring you this good news. God promised to our ancestors has come true in our own time, in that God raised Jesus. This is what the second psalm is talking about when it says concerning Jesus, "You are my son. Today I have become your father." For God had promised to raise him from the dead, never again to die. This is stated in the scriptures that say, "I will give you the sacred blessing I promised to David." Another psalm explains more fully, saying, "You will not allow your Holy One to rot in the grave." Now this is not a reference to David, for after David had served his generation according to the will of God, he died and was buried and his body decayed. No, it was a reference to someone else, someone whom God raised and whose body did not decay. God promised to raise Jesus to life, never again to die. Again, the resurrected Jesus was not some invisible, ethereal body that manifested itself only on certain occasions. It was his own body, although eternalized, translated, and glorified. Now, in your opinion, and according to the other witness accounts that we have read about, can you conceive that Saul, who gave up his promising career as a diligent prosecutor of the new faith, as one who was on track to become a high priest abounding in power and position, be deemed a reliable witness of Christ's resurrection? We know this about him. He was renamed Paul after his encounter with the risen Christ, his new birth, followed by his enlisted service to Christ, being trusted by God to complete a large portion of the New Testament. Without his witness and testimony, our understanding of the new covenant and God's final purpose for humanity would be incomplete.